I have a goal to become a millionaire before the age of 30. And I know to some people, trying to reach that goal or becoming a millionaire before the age of 30, it sounds like one of those clickbait titles, and in the next 5 seconds, I'm about to sell you a course to watch and sell you away. But the truth is, it's really not. Becoming a millionaire before the age of 30, it's just a lot of math, a lot of patience, and just the right structure and having the right attitude. Most people think millionaires are born lucky or had some massive break early in life. But the truth is, the blueprint that I've tried to build is surprisingly repeatable for a lot of people. The difference between people who actually become millionaires or who only dream about it is pretty easy to understand. One of those groups, the people who actually do it, they just take time to build systems. And the other group, well, they chase shortcuts or short-term little habits or things that they think will get them to that goal. And it's not about, being a genius. It's not about, timing the market or hitting big on a cryptocurrency thing. It's just about getting the basics right and stacking them for pretty much a whole decade straight. So in this video, I'm going to break down my blueprint to becoming a millionaire before 30. And I'm only 25 right now, and I don't make a lot of money, but I still think it's something that I can achieve. And it's just, a goal that is built on discipline, smart moves, and long-term thinking. So before we get into actually talking about the blueprint, we need a starting point. And the best part about this starting point is you don't need money to start this. This starting point has nothing to do with money. It has to do with your mindset. If you want to build wealth early, you have to stop thinking about money the way most people do. I remember I saw this quote one time where they basically talked about how you're going to get financial advice from 95% of the people that you meet in your life. And all 95% of those people have no idea what they're doing or what they're talking about when it comes to money. Most people see money as something they make and then they spend. You've heard easy come, easy go, money in, money out, whatever it might be. Millionaires, well, they see money as something they make, they keep it, and they grow it. It's a completely different mindset. Every dollar that you earn has its own job. It can either disappear or it can go to work for you. And the earlier that you realize that, the faster you'll start building momentum. You have to stop asking, how can I make more money right now? That's the easiest thing to start asking. You get so focused on that. But you need to start asking, how can I use the money I already have to build more freedom? And when I started thinking like that, when I stopped focusing on how much money I can make right now, while obviously that is important, but when I started focusing on, okay, I already make money. What can I use this money for to build more freedom? Suddenly like that, everything changed. I stopped chasing every shiny thing that came my way. I stopped chasing every, new job that I saw online, and I started focusing on, okay, building consistency, building assets, because that's what wealth really is. It's just ownership of a lot of different assets that appreciate over time. Simple as that. And once you make that mental switch, well, at that point, you stop living paycheck to paycheck, even if your paycheck really, truly hasn't changed yet. So the next part of the blueprint, once we get our mindset straight, the next thing we need to do, and this is obviously a pretty important one, is we need to get control of our personal finance if you haven't already. And this would be before you start chasing growth. If your finances are a mess, no amount of money will ever fix that. So before you even start thinking about investing or starting a business, you have to master the basics, right? That means tracking every dollar that comes in and out. Knowing your expenses, paying off high interest debt, saving automatically, all of that, even if it's just small amounts, even if you can only pay off $10 of debt every week, or if you can only save $25 a paycheck, whatever it is, you need to start getting in control of your personal finances. And that's something that I've taken very seriously over the past couple of years. And the hard part is getting control of your personal finances. It's not fun. This is never where you're going to see your money skyrocket. This is never where you're going to see the true growth and start this. And if anything, it's going to keep you away from some of those things that you'd previously want to buy. But this is where real financial confidence comes from. You can't scale chaos. And I've seen so many people make so much more money only to lose it faster or spend it away faster because they never learned how to manage what they had. And no, you don't need to live like a monk. You just need to live below your means long enough to build some breathing room. And that's how you create your first opportunity, by being disciplined when others aren't. Because if you can't manage $1,000, I promise you, you will not be able to manage $100,000. And the habits you build now are going to be what carries you on to the next stage. So my third part of the blueprint is a little bit of a unique one, but it's position yourself where opportunity can find you. So what I mean by that is a lot of people don't talk about this enough when talking about becoming a millionaire or taking the right steps to be financially free. Becoming wealthy early isn't always about creating opportunities. Sometimes it's just about being in the right position when they show up. That's how I've pretty much navigated my whole career, as I was in the right place at the right time. And the world is full of just people with potential who never put themselves in the right room, who never build the right habits, or who never stay disciplined or consistent long enough for things to align. And you don't need to be lucky. You just need to be visible, right? So if you work a job you hate, still, you got to be the person who shows up. You got to be the person who's reliable, who adds value without expecting anything in return. That's how true connections are built. New roles will appear that way, and that's how you end up in the right place at the right time. In my own journey, half the opportunities that changed my life came from just being ready. I wasn't chasing really anything. I was just doing what I do on a day-to-day basis, showing up, being consistent, being disciplined, and it's turned out really well for me. And being the person who's already improving themselves makes other people want to pull for you. So when you combine discipline with visibility, the quote-unquote breaks people talk about stop looking like luck. They start looking like the result of preparation meeting that, aligned opportunity. So for my blueprint, right, I shifted my mindset. I got in control of my personal finances. I aligned myself with opportunity, and I was ready for opportunity. The next thing is where the fun starts to happen, right? We need to turn our income into investments, not into a lifestyle. And this is where a lot of people get stuck. This is where I would say the majority of people fall into a trap that they can't come out of. You've all heard it before, right? They start making more money, but instead of using it to buy freedom, they use it to buy comfort. You get a raise, and instantly you think you deserve a better car, or you deserve a better apartment, or you deserve nicer clothes. And before you know it, you're right back to where you started, just with more expensive problems. And you guys have heard it before, but that's called lifestyle creep, and that quietly, or honestly loudly, kills your future. If you want to build wealth before the age of 30, more importantly, or more specifically, become a millionaire, the rule is simple. You need to invest the difference. Do not let your expenses rise at the same rate as your income. For a quick example, I got about a 40% raise when I went full-time. I instantly went to my 401k and I raised my 401k contribution to 20%, and I upped all my investments. I have not felt any of that raise since I got it. It has all just been investing for me. And the easiest way to do this is to start by automating your investments. Contribute every paycheck to your Roth IRA or 401k and start stacking into long-term ETFs or index funds, right? So think the S&P 500 or total market funds or blue chip growth ETFs. Obviously, these are boring. You're not going to turn your money 4x, 5x overnight, but they're consistent, and more importantly, they always win over time, keeping your investing stress-free. And you don't need to chase hype stocks or time the market. You just need to stay in it for a long period of time. Now, the next one is, this is a little bit of a different one because not everyone has the desire or really wants to do this. But if you can build or own something that scales, that definitely helps a lot. I'm not telling you you need to do this, but it can definitely help. Because at some point, right, you have to stop being paid only for your time. And that could mean, this could come in various forms, right? You could build a side hustle, you could create a digital product, you could even start a YouTube channel, buy rental property, or just develop something that you can grow even when you're not actively working on it. The thing is, it doesn't need to make you money right away. Like this YouTube channel, for example. I love investing my time into this YouTube channel. It's building something that I own. Now, does it make me the most money? Absolutely not. Do I make more money working my 9 to 5? 100%. But I'm not expecting a quick return on investment with this YouTube channel. And you don't need a massive audience, or you don't need a huge company. You just need something that scales beyond your work hours, something that keeps working in the background while you can sleep or go do whatever else you want to do. So for me, this is what separates those who get rich from the ones who only stay rich, right? You can only trade time for money for so long. eventually you're going to need some type of leverage, something that compounds, or something that just earns you money while you sleep. And this could even just be having a big investment portfolio. It doesn't have to be a side business or having some type of rental property. So like I said, even if this starts small with a YouTube channel or whatever it might be, just stay consistent to it, because small projects built with patience, they often become a great foundation for your future wealth. So coming to the end of the blueprint, the next thing is we got to keep investing in ourselves, right? You can lose your job. You can lose all your money. You can lose your business. Nothing is ever guaranteed to you, but nobody can take away what's in your head. Every successful person that I've ever met or studied or seen has one thing in common. They have never stopped learning. They've never stopped become better. They've never stopped bettering themselves, and they were obsessed with improvement. Now, that doesn't mean just reading books or taking courses. It means consistently asking, what can I do better? Never thinking that anything you've done is the best, right? If you spend just 1 hour a day learning something that moves you forward, whether that's financial education or communication, leadership, mindset, whatever it might be, right? You'll be unrecognizable in 5 years in a good way. Your mind compounds faster than money ever will. And the best part, that knowledge multiplies your income potential in every direction, because it can lead to new skills or new opportunities or new side hustles or business ventures, whatever it might be. So when in doubt, always bet on yourself first, because you are the foundation of every future dollar that you're ever going to earn. If you don't exist, you're not going to become a millionaire, right? So you have to take charge of yourself, and you have to be in control of yourself. Now, number 7 of the blueprint is delay gratification, right? You got to learn to be bored. And this is the part that no one wants to hear, because it's the least sexy part. No one cares about this, but it's the most important part. Wealth is not built through excitement. It's built in boredom. Most people give up way too early because they mistake slow progress for no progress, right? They save for a few months, right? They invest for a year, and when they see that it's not life-changing results, they just stop. But compounding takes a lot of time, and it's completely invisible in the beginning. You'll spend years stacking habits and feeling like nothing's changing, until one day kind of clicks, right? And if you can learn to be okay with the boring part of success, the budgeting, the consistency, the routine, the discipline, you'll outpace everyone chasing instant gratification. And becoming a millionaire is not about one big decision. It's about thousands of small ones, and most people quit halfway, so you cannot be one of those people. And the last part of the blueprint is just understanding your math behind it, right? And let's make this simple. Becoming a millionaire before the age of 30 is not about earning 7 figures a year. It's about stacking smart decisions. If you can make $80,000 a year at the age of 20, which I know is extremely unlikely. I'm 25, I don't even make $80,000 a year, but just run with this example. If you can make $80,000 a year and you can live on $50K, you invest the rest, now you're saving $30,000 annually, and you can do that for a decade, well, you're well on your way to becoming a millionaire before the age of 30. And not just $1 million, but also just financial freedom for your future. Most people never stay consistent long enough to see it play out. So what I would recommend for you is, if you want to become a millionaire before the age of 30, or even if you're over 30 and you want to become a millionaire before the age of 40, or if you're 40 and you want to become a millionaire before the age of 50, whatever it might be, it's never out of your reach. You just need to do the math. Because I'll be honest with you guys, when I do the math, for me, it's going to be pretty intense for me to become a millionaire before the age of 30. I'm going to have to invest a lot of my money, and I'm going to have to hope my investments continue to do very well. But I'll never put it outside of my reach. I always look for new opportunities. I always plan to get raises as jobs. I always plan to put myself in the right spot to achieve the right opportunities. So it's all about just knowing your math and sticking to it, even if it seems kind of invisible and your progress seems very slow at first, because it will not be luck. It's all about having the right structure around you. So in closing here, look, I know this video is about becoming a millionaire before the age of 30, but realistically, money is never the goal. It's the result of having that money. Becoming a millionaire before the age of 30 is not about the flex, right? It's about who you become along the way. You're going to become someone who's disciplined, patient, confident in your direction. You're going to stop chasing the materialistic kind of quick wins. You're going to start building something you're proud of. You stop needing instant results because you know you're already on that right path, And For a lot of people, money is just a scorecard. The reward is real control over your time, over your energy, over your future, doing what you want to do. So if you're in your 20s right now, stop worrying about how far behind you might feel. Just, start stacking the right habits, give it time, and stay in the game long enough for compounding to take over. So if you guys got any value from this video, I appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.